The US senators have started to debate the president's push for a limited strike in Syria. The question this morning is this: does Barack Obama have enough support from Congress? Well, let's chat to Tom Wheeler, who is a research associate at the SA Institute of International Affairs. And Tom, always a pleasure having you on. Thank you very much for coming in. What are the options really for Barack Obama? I think it's quite well reported he doesn't want military action because lives will be lost, damage will be caused. They don't want to enter into war again. If not that, what do they do?
Yes, there's a very strong resistance, particularly among voters, which is of course reflected in the way the congressmen, the lower house and the senators react. And there's less sign that there are less than sufficient numbers to support what Obama wants to do in the two houses of the US Congress. So it's a tricky one for him. And perhaps this almost accidental statement by Kerry yesterday to a press conference that the answer is for the Syrians to give up their chemical weapons and so on, that may be a way out for him to save face, as it were.
Well, speaking of saving face, it's not just John Kerry that came out with that, as you say, accidental comment, but it's now spurred the UN chief Ban Ki-moon as well to come out with a very, very similar comment. I'm going to ask for your reaction in a moment. First, though, this is what the UN chief had to say about the situation.
For a number of days already, I have been considering our proposals in particular. I'm considering urging the Security Council to demand the immediate transfer of Syria's chemical weapons and chemical precursor stocks to places inside Syria where they can be safely stored and destroyed.
Well, along with me for the conversation is Tom Wheeler, and there you have it as well. We've now got the UN stepping in and saying that this might be the way to go about it. Is this something that, as far as Syria has been concerned and their reactions over the past year or two, do you think this might be one of their more viable options?
I think what happened after Kerry made his statement, Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, had the Syrian foreign minister in Moscow with him. And he said, more or less, what about it? And got a positive response. So all of a sudden it's coming together that there's a willingness to do this. I think everybody realizes that random, well, perhaps not random, but targeted missile strikes into Syria is not the answer, because we don't know whether those are the only sites. What would be the consequences if these are blown up? Would the gas escape and kill more people? And are the other side, the rebels, also involved in some way? So there are so many uncertainties that if you can move forward and actually get a UN Security Council resolution supported by the Russians and the Chinese have also got into the thing now, that this is the way forward. And if the Syrians will play along, and as they seem to have indicated they will, then there is a prospect of some progress.
Barack Obama is the commander-in-chief. Ultimately, he wants buy-in from Congress and the Senate in the end. And the laws in America are quite different with what the president can do with executive power. Can Barack Obama, in the end, ultimately decide, regardless of what anybody says, he can still go to war with Syria? Is that really the crux of the matter, isn't it?
Yes, it is, because I think he is entitled to go to war to protect the interests of the United States if the United States is threatened without the support of Congress. But this is not like that. And I think this is what he reckoned, that what happens in Syria is a humanitarian crisis. It's not a security crisis for the United States.
Tom, always a pleasure having you, and thank you very much indeed for the insight as always. A research associate at the SA Institute of International Affairs, Mr. Tom Wheeler.
News that moves. eNCA.com.